Okay, it looks like we're live. Very, very cool. So yeah, I'm going to skip the spiel, the beginning spiel. I'm gonna wait till some people are in here live, and give it then. But quick introduction. My name's Connor Azzarello. Um, yeah, fourth day streaming, day 4 of Advent of Code 2021. I did very, very minor amount of prep after some issues we had yesterday. I do want to. Sorry, I thought this was 2021, and I thought I didn't do yesterday's, even though I remember doing yesterday's. But no, that was not the issue. But yeah, the only thing I did do was add uBlock to Firefox. I'm using a different browser just so I don't accidentally leak anything. But yeah, for some reason, I think it was Geeks for Geeks yesterday when I was looking some stuff up. For some reason, it just with streaming lagged out the MacBook pretty bad. So yeah, that's here where we are. I don't think I started anything yesterday, but we went through the problem and we talked about it a little bit. I did put this up on my personal GitHub. I'll probably add it to the description. But this code will be up on my GitHub. My username is just my last name. I'll send it in a little bit once some people are in here. Okay, so we've got this track for the toboggan. The open squares are periods. The trees are on the pound signs. And we're given a slope at which, so this continues out infinitely from left to right. But the input file is going to have a certain length, right? And we're trying to figure out, what is it? Starting at the top left corner of your map and following a slope of right 3 and down 1, how many trees would you encounter? So looking at the example, I think they did 3 right and down 1 for this one as well. So you start at the top left and it goes 1, 2, 3, down 1. Well, you got to see it without. So 1, 2, 3, starting from here, 1, 2, 3, down 1. It's an O, so you miss. You don't hit a tree. Then you go 1, 2, 3, down 1. You do hit a tree. That thing just continues over and over. Hey, Steen, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, that's the general gist of this one. Reminder, because you just joined, this is day 3 of last year. I've never done Advent of Code before, so this started the first day because I wanted to do some practice, and I'm kind of over-explaining these ones because I do want to get a good time and not over-explain the actual questions. So this is a good example of where I can explain my approach somewhat. So I talked about this yesterday, but one important part of this is that this pattern just continues on and on and on infinitely to the right. So the way that you can accomplish this is let's say the 0th index is the same. Let's say it's 10 wide. The 0th index, the first, is going to be the same as the index 10 or like the 11th. It gets really confusing explaining that. But basically, the gist is if you want to know what's at a certain index on the width, if it's like greater than the actual width of the given pattern, you would just modulo by the width of the given pattern, and then you know what it would be on the original pattern. So there's no reason to actually like multiply these. Like we'll probably save them in as lists. It's like rotting oranges. I don't understand. Maybe it is like rotting oranges. I'm not sure. Oh, is that it's a problem. Oh, yeah. I have never come across that one, but yeah, probably. Yeah. And then the way that we know we're at the bottom is when we've gone through as many, in this case, since we're always going down one, kind of cheating minorly. But since we know we're only ever going down one, you can just write a 4i in range, like the length of the file. And then you know you've got to the end. So we've got some boilerplate code here. I always import pprint, which is a pretty printer, kind of a mouthful. But it allows just pretty printing of like lists of lists, where each element is on its own line, which is really nice. And then you open the input file. You open the input file as a file pointer f, and then you do f.readlines, and that gives you a list of lists where the string on each line is within a row, which is exactly what we want. So in order to accomplish this, what you would do is you go 4i in range. Oh, I didn't get to what I was saying. I got sidetracked with this rotting oranges thing. But because we know we're going right 3 and down 1, the loop is going to be the length of the given input sequence. So you know that you got to the end once you've gone through that many rows. So pretty simple there. So, oops, I'm on the wrong. The length of input, so the list, right? So create a counter, which is hit count equals 0. And if, I think this should be pretty simple. I have a feeling part 2 is going to be less than fun, but we'll see. So if input and then that row, which is I, and then we don't need like a up and down counter, but we do need a left and right counter to know what like index going 3 every time we're at. So like horizontal counter equals 0. Well, we'll hard code it to. So this is weird because we start at they make a point of this at one point. I thought they made a point of. It's weird because it's not. It'd be. Oh wait, no. I think I'm confusing the problems now. So it would be 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3 times I. Oh, wait, no, that won't work. It'd be 3 plus 3 times I, because you know that it's going to be empty in the top left corner. I think they said that, or if not, should be. You kind of have. I don't think they actually say that, to be honest. I don't think I've downloaded my puzzle input either. Yeah, I have not. I keep doing this every day. Because of the buffer in Vim, I overwrite it. That's weird. I don't know why that line always shows up. It'd probably be easier if I just downloaded it as a file each time, but I don't quite care enough. So where was I? So this is one thing I wasn't able to fix since last stream, some weird like auto formatter stuff that's happening in my editor. But I'm losing track of what I'm working on. So if input I, oh, I need a condition. I mean, I guess that's a condition in and of itself, but not the right one. Ooh, this is bad. I don't have legends on my keys, and I forgot where the pound sign is. So if it's equal to a pound sign, oh wait, I created this horizontal counter for a reason. Oh no, I don't even need the horizontal counter. Because it's the same every time, so you can just figure it out by I times 3 plus, like, what our first one is going to be. Oh, wait. It can't be 3. Won't you need to mod your index? Oh, yeah. I did talk about that. Thank you for bringing it up. At least I wasn't completely forgetting about that. So modded by the length of input 0 for the reason I was talking about before. And then hit count is plus equal to 1. So unless I'm doing something completely wrong, this should be the answer. Oh, that's interesting. Why did it open at the root? Nice. I hope this is the answer. No, that's not the right answer. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm sure there's something wrong. So, yeah, not nice. They baited me with that one. So there's 2 places where this could be wrong. One could be, would you mod by the length of the input? No, yeah, that part seems right. I don't know if I just want to guess and check. I feel like it's... No, it shouldn't be -1 because we would have gotten an out of bounds error if that were the case. So there's something foolish. I don't want to say stupid, but there's something foolish that I'm doing here. So I'm just going to print out my input and just make sure it's reading incorrectly. Oh, it's going to be because of the new line. So it's the length of input plus 1. I had this issue yesterday because of new lines. Okay, 64. Nope, still not the right answer. Let's see. Go through print length of input 0. What also might have happened, so 32 long. That looks like, is that actually 32? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 9, 30, 31, 32 for the new line character. Okay, so that's correct. I don't know how I scrolled so far up. So the length of the input 0 is correct. So it's right. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. So at input 0, because this has the same slope, so you can check with this. So at 0, oh, wait, I should really know this, but no, I am indexing them in the correct order. It would go row first. No, I'm thinking it would be modulo +1 because you want to basically just ignore the new line. So there's a 31 real ones. So if you modulo... Wait, you shouldn't have to Oh, I get what you're saying. I think you're right. 32 seems more. Wait. I'm printing out too many things. No, but the length is 32. Well, so I guess the better way of doing this. So there's two-ish. How long's this file? 323. I find it hard to believe that you would hit that many trees, but maybe it's true. I'm just going to throw it in there. I know this is not best practice. Wait, why is it so slow? I hope the server's not down. That'd be no fun. Because there's a 1 minute like limit. You can only submit a new answer every minute. This might screw it up if I resubmit. Okay, no, it is 274. So thank you, Steen. It is -1, and you're right. And the reason it is -1 is because... Yeah, because you want to ignore the new line character, because it thinks that you're modding by 32, because that's... Yeah, that is a lot of damage. Because it thinks that there's 32 things, but there's really only 31. So modding by 31 is what would give you the valid value. You're just ignoring the last element, which is the new line character, and not repeating it. I was thinking the opposite, that it would be 33 as if you like were repeating the new line character and you just could never mod, and the result of the mod can never be the new line character, but that is not correct. So on to part 2. Looking at the question as I was reading it, I'm kind of afraid of what part 2 is going to be like. Oh, maybe not. Time to check the rest of the slopes. You need to minimize the probability of a sudden arboreal stop after all. Determine the number of trees you would counter if, for each of the following slopes, for each of the following yeah, they made a joke about that earlier. The stories on this, I don't know if you've ever done Advent of Code. As I said, I haven't either. But, yeah, these aren't the only trees, though, the input. Though, due to something you read about once, involving arboreal genetics and biome stability, the same pattern repeats to the right many times. Yeah, you should do it with me. Are you gonna... I assume you're gonna do it in Python? Yeah. Sounds like comments I make sometimes. This one time I read, also known as you like heard it on a podcast or something, but you say you read. Yeah. Python's nice. I did have some issues yesterday. It wasn't Python's fault by any means, but it was definitely my own logical fault for the most part. But just like weird things that you don't think about, like when you have a list equal to another list, and then you like change the source list, it changes. Like if you just do a simple equals, you have to cast the list again using like the list keyword, and then that creates a copy of the list. Yeah, it's been a long time for me, as people that have been in the stream the past couple of days would probably see. Yeah, there's just like things that are kind of invisible that you like don't think about with Python, which is like good and bad. It makes it a lot less verbose, but then creates other issues. And then I did a weird thing yesterday where if you're like iterating through a list and then you remove an element from the list while iterating through it, you're actually going to jump like 2 things ahead instead of just 1. And then I was getting some weird, there were some consequences to that, where the problem wasn't being solved correctly. Working in Java. Yeah, I know with like C++, which is like probably the language I know second best, there's all of the different types of like referencing, and it gets really confusing, and there's a lot of pointers and stuff, and ampersands. But yeah. So back to the question, though. Determine the number of trees you would encounter if, for each of the following slopes, you start at the top left corner and traverse the map all the way to the bottom. Why'd they have to make a down 2 one? Why? because then I have to have two different. So I could do this the lazy way, or I could do this the robust way. The lazy way is that I just change I to 1, change I to 3, or not I, sorry. There's like another variable that you add in that iterates 1, 3, 5, 7. Or what I could do is make like 5 different tuples that are the different values, which is probably the right way to do it. So list of tuples, 1, 1. I think this is the right format. 1, 5, 1, 1, 7, and 2, 1. So then this one, if I were to guess, not guess, but oh no, not this. But for this, it would be the length of input divided. So the x direction, or I did this in the wrong order. It'd be y comma x, or y comma x in I think my format's wrong. Is it smart enough to do it like this? Or is it going to give me... Yeah, no, I guess that would work too. But wait, wouldn't you just have to check to see if I times 2 is greater than length? Then you wouldn't evaluate the last tuple. Are you talking about the slope tuples? I'm gonna keep going like this right now. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Oh. Well, that didn't print out. Oh, because it didn't compile. Okay. So it is. Yeah, it is smart enough to do this. Oh, I think I understand what you're getting at. I'm gonna have to think about it for a second to put it into words, but I think I get what you're saying. Wait, I'm gonna solve it this way, see if I can get the right answer, and then we can try to optimize it with that suggestion. So yeah, this is another interesting way that they basically make you, at least so far, they make you solve all the problems. Is like, in order for it to be language agnostic, like it doesn't matter. I mean, you could just do it on paper if you wanted to. You don't even have to program it. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But the way they make it language agnostic is if there's multiple answers, like in the case of this, they'll make you like multiply it together or something where it's like really hard to brute force. Um, so the product, yeah, it would have to be 1, right? So the product is equal to the hit count there, and print product. That seems awfully large. And it also seems weird that you hit. Oh. Oh no, I accidentally did it right. Yeah, it's the number of trees you hit, right? That seems so large, though. What was our answer to the last one? 274. How do you hit so many fewer on these ones? I think I'm doing something wrong. Or I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Oh. Well, so we know that the 1, 3 has to equal 273 because we already solved that. So 3 times I. Oh. Why'd I hard code divided by 2? It's divided by y. Or sorry, 274. Okay. Now I'm confident because we got the same value again. So it seems so big, but the example they had was with the much smaller set. Okay, cool. We got it right. So whether or not we want to optimize right now, there is one other optimization. I was watching another streamer who was solving these problems in Rust, but they made, or I don't even think the streamer made the comment, but somebody in their comments pointed out that there was some like redundancy in the way that they approached it, and I do want to address that before I forget. So how is this? So wouldn't you just have to check to see if I times 2 is greater than length, then you wouldn't evaluate the last tuple? You wouldn't continue to evaluate it? What did the 4n? Wait, no, but isn't this is already O to the 4n, isn't it? Sorry, O4n. No, I said that right. This has the same complexity that you're suggesting. Because if n is like the input, there's no way that you can't go through the input. Oh, I see what you're. Oh. No, I think I'd have to think about this for a second. I don't think this is any more complex than what you're suggesting. Um, I don't know. Yeah. I believe if you deconstruct what I wrote, those are the same things. This is just slightly more like robust. There's less lines. But I believe I understand what you're saying now. Like it's going to do the same thing. At least in terms of like operational complexity. It did require more thinking to write it to be more robust, but your version would be, so let's say that's 3 lines. I don't know. It'd be like, I don't know, like 12, 10 lines longer. But if you have 4 separate for loops, it's still iterating over it 4 times, right? Oh, you're saying each check happens? Yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh, I get it. So how would I write that? I don't know why this is so confusing. I'm not that far out of college. I feel like I should remember. Or not that far out of the class where I learned this. But for you is even more recent though, so I don't know. I feel like this is somewhat futile. I think it's operationally. Yeah, well, because it's not about the actual iteration, it's about the access of the line. And I think it makes minimal difference. I can do some stuff later. Oops. I can do some stuff later where I actually like benchmark that and the other version. But I wanted to talk about this one for a second because of that thing I was saying about there was an interesting optimization that can be done. Um, so basically, the story is you've got a submarine and it's looking down and it's got like a radar and it finds the depth and you're given all of the depths at like step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. And it's how many times it's increasing, how many measurements are larger than the previous measurement. So from like 0 to 1 or 1 to 2, like how many times does it increase? That's not where the optimization comes in. But then the next one talks about doing this with a three measurement sliding window. And I took it very, very literally. And there was an interesting suggestion that I saw about this. If you think about it, so what you would do is like the lower window is lines I plus 1, and I plus 2. And then the upper window is I plus 1, I plus 2, and I plus 3. So if you're doing a comparison operator like in math, if you were to like actually write this out and try to do the algebra, this picture also makes it relatively obvious too. But the middle two values are the same. So you only need to check. So like lower window is simply I, and then the upper window would just be this. And that should give the same answer. Wait, what? Am I doing the wrong problem? Oh, yeah, I'm doing the wrong problem. I went to 20. This is 2021 one. I got some weird printing. Or I don't know why it's printing, but the answer is 1127. So just interesting thing I wanted to bring up. But the two values in a 3 sliding window, the two middle values are the same. So if you're comparing if it's increasing, you only need to know if A is different than B, which is makes it kind of weird because the whole point of how this is worded, what do they say? Considering that every single measurement isn't as useful as you expected, there's just too much noise in the data. Instead, consider sums. So like you're not really accomplishing much because now you're not comparing one to the next one. You're just comparing every third one to each other, or I guess fourth one to each other. Very cool. Thank you, Steen. Um, I feel like you're not accomplishing anything by doing this. In all honesty, like the amount of noise is the same. You're doing the same number of checks. I don't know. I'd have to think about the theory behind that one, but yeah, I think it's about time to get prepped. Um, so here's what I'm gonna. Oops, GPR 3 to 4. Oh, Why? It's so weird. The computer like randomly lags. Oh, it's probably because I'm streaming. I'm only using 17% CPU, but it's probably multi-threaded. So this isn't my default browser, so it popped up on the other window. But wait, why'd you send this? This looks not fun, to be honest. Given a string S and dictionary of strings where as space. Apple pineapple pen. This looks rough. I'm not doing this right now. Yeah, my plans to the Advent one. Yesterday was day 3, and it took me, I think, an hour and 20 minutes. And they're supposed to get harder every day. Or there's a general trend of getting harder. Obviously, some are going to be harder for others and whatever. But yeah, I can't solve these things fast. So what was I doing to prep? We got 8 minutes left. Or 7:40. No need for R there. So this was yesterday's funness. Check the VOD if you're interested in yesterday's. Thanks. This is the I enjoy that people are throwing some emotes into chat, because there's been, going through the history, there's been, oh, this isn't full history, but I don't believe there's been any emotes yet. So I invite you to meme and emote a bit. This is a casual stream. Cool. That's what I like to see. It's a Pokemon, right? What is this? Oh, Sizor, yeah. I've got FFZ and BTTV emotes turned on, so you'll see them pop up here if that's something that interests you. We've got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna step away for like less than 2 minutes. I'll be back momentarily. Yeah, they removed PogChamp on January 7th. You can take guesses as to why that might be if you don't know. But yeah, I will be back in less than 2 minutes. Okay, cool. I'm back. I just wanted to fill up my water bottle, make sure I'm hydrated. Something I've been trying to work on recently. I have this ginormo water bottle. 86 ounces of hydration. I get more and more stressed every day before I start these. Because A, I know they're going to get harder. And B, made a comment on my first stream that I needed to get a better ranking at least once during the month, and I would call it a win. But as of right now, I'm slipping pretty hard on myself. So I started at 1718, excuse me, and then 4633, and then I made a pretty fat jump yesterday with my hour and 30 minutes. So I'd be interested to see what the distribution curve looks like on these. But I will also admit though that the first day I was almost completely silent while solving it, but then after I did some more explanation, and then I had a bunch of bugs yesterday. But yeah, what do the stats look like? We got 4 minutes left. So, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. I mean, I would assume most people have finished it within 24 hours, but like a little more than half of people that finished, less than half of people that finish, or no, a little less. I can't do math. Basically, give or take 50% of people that did day 1 and day 2, both parts, were able to do both parts of day 3. So that's good to see. I'll check back on that towards the end of this thing. But yeah, I said I would do my spiel, just about like who I am, what I'm doing here. Once there were some more people, some more viewers, some more people in chat. So my name's Connor Azzarello. I'm a DevOps consultant at a company called Oteemo, which is the name of this Twitch channel. I'm streaming on their behalf, and then also in the banner right next to my face. We are a DevOps consultancy firm. I don't have the full thing I'm supposed to read out, but we also dip into MLOps, cloud computing, consulting, and a lot of cool projects both on the public and the private sector. And we do some really cool work. If you have any questions about what I do or what our company does, feel free to hit me up in chat. If you have any personal questions, technical questions, questions about the environment I'm coding in, this is Vim. I'm using a very minorly modified version of, I call it a distribution, not a config, of Lunar Vim. A distribution of Vim called Lunar Vim, kind of like distributions of Linux. I'm here on my work Mac on an ultra wide screen, which is why the aspect ratio is weird. But I'm trying to make sure that the font is pretty large, so we don't have any issues there. Using a tiling window manager on Mac called Yabai, with SKHD, which allows you to have hotkeys to like move your windows around and such. There's some weird bugs with it, which you might see at some point today. But overall, it's great coming from a Linux user that's really into tiling window managers, an i3 user. It's relatively similar. But yeah, if you've got any questions, got any whatever, ready to start this question real soon. 40 seconds. Continue on the hydration train while we wait. I'll be coding in Python today. I will probably, unless I get stuck, probably keep commentary somewhat to a minimum. Not going to over-explain things, but I might kind of talk to myself, and then after, time permitting, I will explain, optimize my code, make it a little more robust, and answer any questions. Nobody's asked any questions yet in the previous streams, but yeah, feel free to ask questions. I also enjoy the suggestions. Thank you, Steen. He helped me out. Okay, we're live. You're already 1.5 kilometers below the surface of the ocean, already so deep that you can't see any sunlight. What you can see, however, is a giant squid that has attached itself to the outside of your submarine. Maybe it wants to play bingo. Bingo is played on nice. Bingo is played on a set of boards, each consisting of a 5x5 grid of numbers. Numbers are chosen at random. Okay, I know how bingo works. The submarine has a bingo system without passengers. Currently, you and the giant squid pass the time. Haha. It automatically generates a random order to which to draw the numbers in a random set of boards, your puzzle input. After the first 5 numbers are drawn, there are no winners, but the boards are marked as follows, shown here adjacent to each other to save space. So there's only 3 boards. Okay. After the next 6 numbers are drawn, there are still no winners. Finally, 24 are drawn at this point. The third board wins because it is one complete row or column of marked numbers. In this case, the entire top row is marked. The score of the winning board can now be calculated. Start by finding the sum of all unmarked numbers on that board. In this case, the sum is 188. Then multiply that sum by the number that was just called when the board won, 24, to get the final score. This is a weird arbitrary scoring method, if you ask me. To guarantee victory against the giant squid, figure out which board will win first. What will your final score be if you choose that board? Okay, so let's get our puzzle input first. And let's go. So we've got a 5x5 board. So, but what was the format? I know they just said it, but okay. So these are the numbers being called. So, numbers equals input 0 dot split. They were comma separated values. Yeah. So 4. Oh man, this is gonna be real fun. And this is only part 1. So there's a lot of things to keep track of. Because after each number, you need to know which ones are marked. So for each board, we need to create like a marked matrix as well. So before we even get to this, let's iterate through how do we do this? So there's a space in between lines. So if we do it mathematically, so 2 and 8. So starting at, man. So for I in range, length of input, not modulo. I think that's right. It's kind of weird that it's going to be like so difficult just to parse out where each board is. So it's the length of the input divided by 5. So so boards dot append input. What did we say it started on? Oh, am I doing this right? Maybe I'm too used to pandas. Can you even like splice out a list? Splice multiple elements out of list Python. Okay, I don't know how to do this, so we're gonna do this board equals list times 5 print. Wait, is this even gonna work either? I'm floundering already. That doesn't create a list of. Does this? No, it doesn't. Uh, so, man, how do I do this? Oh, 4J in range 5. My autocomplete really likes to screw me over. Man, this really shouldn't be that hard. So it would be input. So board dot append input 2 input 2 plus j times oh man. Man, this is the simple part of the question. Okay, I'm gonna. No, I can't really cheat. Input dot remove input dot index dot remove number of boards. Oops. Boards equals the length of the input divided by 6 because the. Would it be divided by 6? Yeah, divided by 6 because there are blank lines. Actually, yeah, and then if, just as a sanity check, if row equals this input 2 equals j times 5 and then it's I. I think I'm doing this right. Oh no, I don't need to subscript this twice. I'm doing weird stuff. So this would be J. That's the starting row. Oh no, it'd be I times 5 plus J. I'm gonna start. Oh man. Okay, so I screwed something up minorly. There's something about the way it's indexing is incorrect. Oh, this is why I believe you repeatedly to do my little hack. No, that's not why. So it's just every sixth that I want to ignore. So I'm doing something wrong. So the row is going to be I times oh. Uh, oh man. Okay, cool. And I think that should be correct. Just gonna manually check. That looks right. Yep. Cool. So I need to take into account that there's new line characters on every line, but I think num boards equals the length of boards. Yeah. And I want to create So I need to have the boards themselves, and then I need to have a like hit. Yeah. So one hit matrix equals this, and then it's 0. I forget what the syntax is for this. I just want to create a matrix of all or list of lists of all zeros. List of lists of zeros, Python. No, but I want them all. I want like a NumPy zeros type thing. Okay, I'm gonna do this a little bit ugly way. I don't know why weird stuff like this happens. I don't know what this is about. No overloads for init. Um, I don't know what this is about. I think maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow for a bit where I fix some weird things with my Python um LSP. So for number num in numbers or board in boards, and then it's for I in range 5 or J in range 5. So much nesting. Uh, if board I J so I want to enumerate boards. Be numb. Okay, so this should at this point go through the whole game of bingo, but it has not determined the winner. So what are the different ways to win? You're either in a column, so keeping I constant, J is 0 through 4, keeping J constant, I is 0 through 4, or there's like the diagonal ones, which would be what would it be? Um, so how would you write this? Oh, if winning series equals 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So if for I in range. What's up, Devil Squirrel? Did you finish already? I kind of, maybe I'm getting salty. I kind of don't want to know if you already finished, but you probably did. It took me a real long time just to parse both parts. Damn. It took me way too long just to parse out the boards from the input file. So I had to do way more thinking than I needed to. So if board, now what I'm doing is I'm checking for a win. Okay, so that checks if all of the rows have been completed. If all of the columns have been completed. I'm making it real hard to debug this if I screw something up intuitively, because there's just some really strange things that I'm doing here. Okay, so now rows and columns have been completed. So this will be one diagonal. If board I equal to 1. I don't know why I keep putting prints. Right. I don't know which one's right and which one's left. I just picked arbitrary things. If board I 4 minus I is equal 1, left diag count is plus equal to 1. And then okay, so for the time being, I'm going to consider that correct. So this marks them. Oh, no, but I need to check at every step. Oh, many nesting. So this gets marked. So man, I feel like I'm overcomplicating this, like pretty severely. So where would I do the check? So for each board, if check for when it enum implicitly is equal to true, then print numbers P print board and P print. So I'm gonna start with a sanity check. I don't know, why is it doing this today? Wait, why can I not do that? Oh. I think that's it. So I'm gonna check the first one. Oh, I'm doing something real wrong. Oh no, not necessarily. Well, yes, necessarily, because one of these isn't. So that tells me that my columns isn't working. The one where I think I'm checking for a column win. Oh. Thanks, Dean. See you later. I might have to draw this out. So I think I'm doing this right, but something with my logic's wrong. Try a debugger setup. That'd be very helpful here. So I think this is a really bad way of doing this, the whole like winning series thing. I think I should do it the same way I did it here. Oh, I have to do it this way. And I feel like that should have worked. Okay. So this is rows and this is columns or vice versa. I don't really know. That's odd. Why is it printing out so much stuff? Oh, because we're at the break. So it is actually checking. Wait, what? Print. Oh, this isn't gonna break out. Like, it's just gonna break out of this loop. That's why I'm getting more than one print. It's not just taking the first winner. Hmm. Okay. So I believe this is correct. Okay, now we got this weird scoring thing. So I mean, they clearly did win. They got, is there a 52 in here? I'm kind of assuming it did it right. So the score of the winning numbers can now be calculated. Start by finding the sum of all. Okay, so I do need the last number. I'm gonna give it -1. Can I do this? KL in range 5. I don't know if this is allowed. Does it allow you to? Oh, wait, I don't. Oh, you would have to do some sort of like comprehension. For L in range 5. Sum of unmarked sum equals 0 if it if it matrices KL equal to 0, unmarked sum is plus equal to the int cast, because it's a string right now, of board KL then print sum times last. It's possibly unbounded, but I know it's not. Oh, maybe it is. Oh. Wait, what do they mean? Oh, because it's not a list yet. Still concatenating it though. Row equals board. Okay, so that's right. But let's just print row and make sure I'm doing this right. I need to figure this out before tomorrow. Why is this math wrong? Oh. I know. Oh, that's not why. Well, gonna have to fix it for the next one, but it's just gonna be 530 times 4. 530 times 4. Nope. Oh man. There's a lot of things. Was this actually the sum? Let's manually check. Assuming that this is the correct one for the win. But it might have missed one with a diagonal or something like that, but I'll go back and figure that out. Sure. So the unmarked ones are 12 plus 37 plus 12 plus 37 plus 87. 69 plus 4 plus 36 plus 2 plus 92 plus 93 plus 98. Yeah, so it is 530. Oh no, but the last number can't be 4 because 4's unmarked. Wait, so how did it not? Oh, and it can't even possibly be 4 because it had to be 52. Okay, so something about my last number is wrong. I don't think this is it. That shouldn't make any difference. Hmm. So still doing something bizarre. I'm sure it's because of the spaghetti code I wrote somewhere. But the last number can't possibly be 4 because there's no 4 in the matrix for 4 isn't correct, or it hasn't been marked. Oh, but wait, it should be marked because that's only like 5 in. So there's no way it won by the time it gets. Yeah, so 91's not there. 18's not there. Yeah, so it should be marked. Okay, so my marking of the matrices is wrong too. Is it marking the right one? I mean, it should be. So for every board, for every position, I don't think this makes a difference either. Oh, it does. It does seem to make a difference. But the weird part is it's still not. Man. So that one clearly did win at some point. But we don't know if it was the first one to win. But regardless, the last number is still wrong. Because the last number is like too early. So if this is our matrix, this is our bingo board. 23, so 1 gets marked. Cool. 91's not in there. 18 is not in there. 32 is in there, so it gets marked. So we have 23. I'm going to write this out. Just keep track. Okay, so 23 gets marked. 32 gets marked. 73 is not in there. 14. I feel like this is futile, but maybe it gives me information as to where I'm going wrong. I don't know. 14 is not in there. 20 is in there. So far it's marking them all correctly. Oh, but yeah, it still comes down to that 4. The 4 should be marked. And at that point, oh. No. Because it's marking some after, but for some reason that middle one's not getting marked. Why? Man. Why is the 4 not being marked? Wait a second. Yeah, they're not split. Oh. No. I tried. Okay. When is 91? So this feels closer to correct. Just knowing that I fixed something that was clearly wrong before. Because it wasn't actually selecting the element, it was like selecting just the character in the string that was each line, where it wasn't like actually a bingo board on the rows, it was just a array of the rows as strings, and they weren't split. So let's see. Break out the calculator again. 95 plus 84 plus 35 plus 28 plus 48 plus 88 plus 71 plus 19. $95 plus 84 plus 35 plus 28 plus 48 plus 80. No, okay, that's the correct sum for this board. And this is assuming that that's correct and the multiplication is correct. Well, I didn't check that, but I'm assuming Python can do math correctly. The score of the winning board, start by finding the sum of all unmarked numbers on that board, then multiply the sum by the number that was just called. I have a feeling this isn't right. No, I still get... No, those should be equivalent. Okay, so I'm getting further, though. Hopefully the struggling through this will be helpful for someone at some point. But it's definitely a little frustrating right now. Invalid literal for int with base 10. Empty string. Wait, there shouldn't be an empty string. Wait, where's the empty string? Oh, there's no row anymore. So it's... board KL. 50141, still what I'm getting. Did I miss one of the winning? Did they specifically say that there can be diagonals? Oh, diagonals don't. Oh man, so I spent all that time on diagonals. And I totally missed that it said diagonals don't count. But the weird part is, it didn't win on diagonals. So the winning board should still be the same. Yeah, the winning board's still the same because it was a horizontal win. So, I mean, 91's definitely in there. 82. It's just like whether or not the last number is actually 92. I assume is what it is, because the sum of this board is true. I assume it's going to pick it out correctly that it won, but where's 92? Okay, 92. Oh, but yeah, no, it can't be 92 because that's not in the row where it won. Is there even 92 in this? Okay, so the last number is still wrong. For some reason. Yeah, there's no 92. There's some bizarre stuff happening here. So 25. When does 93 happen? It happens early. 69 happens. Is 82 before? 82's after. And where's 25? I kind of have a feeling 25 will be the last number. But where is 25? Oh man. I mean, it has to be in here, right? Oh, 25. That's because it was across the lines. So 82 is the last number. So it's probably 551 times 82. Then let's figure out what the issue is. Nope, still not the right answer. 25 happened before. 91 was early. Where'd 93 come up? Thinking maybe the better way of doing this. Well, maybe not better. But why would last number. So there's no reason this needs. Oh no, it does need to be casted to an end. Interesting. It gets 91 as well. But how would that be possible? Because 91's the second number. It can't solve the bingo game. What? There's something weird happening. Oh man. This is really frustrating. Hmm. I hate to end the stream this way. I'm starting to get tired, but there's also more pressure being live while doing this. Um, I think I might call it a night for the stream. I think I might start off stream. I think I might start over fresh and yeah, probably start over fresh and come back, go over it whenever I stream tomorrow, go over my answer, and really clean up, now that I've seen it, really clean up my code and figure it out. But I'm not sure who's still here watching, but whoever you are, thank you very much for being here. But yeah, I'm getting frustrated. I think I'm tired. It's been a long week. And I definitely know that I approached this in a less than ideal way. So I think I'm going to take it a little slower, go through, check my work on every step, really break it down, and see if I can come up with an answer that makes sense. So, yeah, I will go over it tomorrow. I might be streaming sometime during the day. I want to fix some of those issues with my LSP on Vim. You've seen some of those issues there. Do some other stuff. I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. Maybe work on my config for some things, make things more efficient, and make myself go a little faster here. Do some more practice at some point. But yeah, please follow if you do want to see that. But for right now, I'm gonna head out. But yeah, thank you for being here. Sorry to end it on a, I wouldn't say a sad note, but a less than ideal note. But yeah, have a good night, everyone.